Is there a way that this strategy can work for one Christian who cares about their community, who wants to make an impact?
I think that this is the beauty of, this is kind of self-congratulatory, but I think that this is the beauty of Kaleb's story and my story. Neither one of us are pastors.
Yep.
We are the average Joe who just decided, you know what, that thing over there called social media, there's something to it and we should probably give it a shot. And the good news is that, we were trying and failing and sometimes succeeding and sometimes getting our foot caught in our mouth. But what happened is over time, with a consistent dedication to this craft, with growth over time, we're able to actually create and craft and cultivate communities that are actually paying attention in some way that, maybe weren't paying attention before we were online.
Yeah, it's easy to look at anybody who has any kind of online audience and think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Well, no, we have all different roles. And I just want to say that there are a lot of people who don't have an audience that are heavily engaged in serving. There are people who take content like Justin's and I's and spread it and share it to people. There are people who show it in church. There are a lot of different ways, or even the people who say, look, the internet is not for me, but you know what is for me? You are for me, and I will feed you, or I will help support you. We would not be anywhere even able to do the things we do without so many supportive people just constantly helping us along the way. And that is equally, if not more valuable. The public attention is not what we're after. What any of us should be after is just contributing how you can, where you can, in the best way you can.
Wait, you blasted by that last point really quickly. Okay. So what I think I heard you say is that if I care about reaching my neighbors and I care about reaching the next generation, I don't need to be the next social media star.
No.
Mm-mm.
I can actually look around for who's doing good work and participate with them in their ministry.
Absolutely.
I think that this is a really great kind of motive check. Why are we creating content on the online? Is the purpose to create, a kind of this platform where we're celebrated and there's fame and there's notoriety? If so, well, maybe we're not doing it with the purest of intentions, right? I firmly believe that I would still be having the conversations that I'm having. Like if I have an episode of I'm Listening, I'm sitting down with my pagan barber or my atheist friend that I met on the internet. I want to still have those conversations, whether I document them or not. It just so happens that documenting them actually helps create the kind of change I'm wanting to see in the world. But when it's all said and done, if I had no platform, I want to believe that this is still the kind of work that I'm going to be doing. I know that this is true for Kaleb, that Kaleb cares deeply about people. He wants to hear from their stories. He wants to be able to empathize and learn. And even if he didn't have a platform like Humans of Adventism, he'd still be interested in listening to people.
Yeah, this is absolutely an outpouring for both of us. Social media is the tool we chose, but it is an outpouring of the life that we are trying to live. Listening to people, sharing their stories on my end. This is something, and it's evidenced by the fact that both of us did this for free on top of other things for a long, long time before we ever had the opportunity to partner with the church, to get any kind of income for this. We were already living this way, and the opportunities just happen to present themselves along the way, but we would still be doing it.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's another significant point that you hit on. There isn't necessarily one formula for how social media works. There is in the science of algorithms and whatnot, but there's not one persona or one way in which ministry happens. What I hear you saying is that you are yourself and yourself pours out online.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to get involved with this, my contribution to the social world is going to look different than Kaleb or Justin.
Absolutely.
But somebody would want to listen to me. I'm not sure that's true, but
We'll put it this way. Every time that you and I get to the privilege of sitting down and having a meal or hanging out together, I'm interested in hearing about your life. I'm interested in hearing about your perspective. I actively engage and I ask you questions because the way that you see the world is unique to the way that I see the world. And so from that little microcosm alone, your perspective matters, and it influences people in a really potent and powerful way. And so to that level, you might not reach Kaleb. I know that you do reach Kaleb, but let's say theoretically, someone like Kaleb might not be interested in your perspective, but someone like me would. And that's the beautiful thing about the internet is that you don't have to reach everybody, but if you reach some people, you're going to be able to create community and relationships and bonds around that.
Look, the church needs individuality. It needs you to not say, I'm going to do exactly what this other person is doing, but I bring my own life experience and my unique talents and interests to the table. There is so much value living in each individual person who's willing to serve. And I think that's a beautiful thing about this church. We don't have to force people to be exactly the same to bring out the absolute best in them and to empower them to work for God.
And something can be so different. It doesn't have to be do Kaleb's something. It doesn't have to be do Justin's something. But, it's so cliche, but it's this whole question that we like to share at the church in the pulpit all the time. What's in your hand? Like, what is the thing that matters most to you? What is the thing that lies nearest to you? Go and do that, and do that well. And God will bless that. It's not so much about what stone you choose to pick up, but it's the fact that you pick up a stone and you decide to use it for God's glory.